Yeah.
I'd like to get more people involved in church. I don't want like if you have something that could be helpful to others, or I don't
Yeah.
want it to just be my space. I do want to grow a community. So always let me know. Okay, I'm going to share uh, some astrology if I can. Is anyone having like a Super Bowl party today or anything?
No.
Nope.
Well, I don't know. I have 16-year-old twin girls. The amount of teenagers that float in and out of this house is,
Yeah.
and
That
it
I
happens at any
understand.
given moment. So I don't know.
Yeah. My dad will be here watching it, and I am making his rotel.
There you go.
I do not watch it. Oh, don't look at Allison's chart.
No, I am just hanging out in my Rick and Morty jammies and drinking coffee.
I love your Rick and Morty jammies.
Me too. They're very comfy.
So
I'm going to turn this off. Let's see.
So you see that moon and Mars together? It's kind of what has my butt puckered for today. So just want everyone, if you are going out, people are edgy. Their emotions are right there. They're a little aggressive. I will be in my cave all day, but yeah.
I'm not going out. We were in a snow emergency yesterday here, so no.
You
no
had a
thanks.
what emergency?
A snow emergency yesterday.
Did it snow a lot?
Yeah, that's just what it means. There's a lot of snow.
So, like, how much snow is a snow emergency?
You know what? I don't even know how much is like the I know that I had to shovel it. It was probably about at least 6 inches deep.
Jesus.
It was really powdery, so at least it was not super heavy. But yeah, we're not driving anywhere. I'm staying.
It barely snows in Oklahoma, so we don't have snow emergencies. That's why I asked.
Oh, I'm from Arizona. This is all so foreign to me.
It's supposed to snow in Oklahoma Thursday.
Oh,
I know, and it better not, because this weekend's supposed to be my son's birthday party, and I got a bouncy house and all sorts of stuff.
oh wow.
Oh, wow.
But it'll probably be awful. So yeah, this moon and Mars, wherever you have Cancer in your chart, is where that energy is going on right now.
And the moon.
This one is really important too. The sun conjunct Mercury. So whenever the sun is conjunct something, so remember, conjunct means that their energies are combining. They're on top of each other. They're kind of like melding together, working together. When the sun is perfectly conjunct with something, we call it a Cassimi. It literally means like the sun gives its heart, gives its power to whatever is in conjunction with it. And so we are dealing with that right now with the Mercury Cassini. Thank you. So wherever Aquarius is in your chart, this is where this Cassini is happening. I'm a Leo rising, so it's in my 7th house.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is like taking us back to basics, so I apologize.
No, absolutely. This is what it's for.
Okay, so when you jump and say Sun conjunct Mercury, but you have it going on because Mercury's in Aquarius right now, or because the Sun's in Aquarius?
Because they're both in Aquarius. They're at the same degree. They're conjunct. The same degree. On top of each other.
Yep. Okay. I'm good.
Yeah. So a conjunction is when different astrologers have different orb degrees, but almost all of them agree within 5 degrees of being with each other. We call it a conjunction.
Within 5. Okay.
I'm a little bit bigger. I do 10 degrees because I'm an energy worker, and energy practitioners tend to feel a little bit earlier. Like they feel the shift and change.
That's what okay.
So
So I feel like I'm always ahead of the shift. So
Yeah.
when I was like, I was reading my daily astrology and but it was always like, that was 2 days ago for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a day ago for me. Okay.
Yeah. Energy
Okay.
workers and practitioners always
Yep.
feel the shift. And that's
Yep.
why I do whole sign astrology, because I believe witches feel that.
Yep.
I in my heart and soul completely.
Yep.
I'm the same. I feel things usually before they happen.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes like several days, even a week before.
Yeah. Well, the witches and shaman have to experience the storm so they can tell the people how to prepare for it.
Right.
That's how the saying goes.
I'm new to even following astrology, so I have no idea if I'm early or late or whatever. But I know I am descended from a woman who was hung for being a witch during the Salem witch trials.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Yeah. And actually, my husband is descended from one of the women that accused her. So I probably should have known better. No.
Listen, talk about some karma. Are
No
you
kidding.
like,
I was
are you on a karmic cycle?
Although we didn't figure that out until later. My mother-in-law and I figured that out with our genealogy, but
Jeez, Louise.
You might be on a karmic cycle to correct something that happened to your family.
I have actually been thinking that,
absolutely.
Because my mother-in-law ended up, she was my best friend, and then she turned on me, disowned me, and started accusing me of things I didn't do.
I'll
so
be right back.
This is crazy. I'm like, she's just reliving history.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been kind of wild.
I bet.
I know it's super loud, okay? But they're just going to vacuum for a little bit. You want to go outside with me and breathe a bit while this happens? Okay, you want me to hold you? Do you want to hide in here? Here you go. Here's some headphones. Whew. Sorry about that. Had old boomer parents starting the vacuum with my autistic son and had to buffer that. Okay, maybe I should have that one first. Let's do, then this chart will do that here now. Okay, the outside wheel is the transits for today, and the inside wheel is Donald Trump's natal chart. So remember, this is how we do predictions. The chart that I give you is a little map, and then you can lay it on top of the transit chart to see where that energy is, what's going on. You can put it together with another person's chart to see how your energy mix and matches. That's called synastry. But yeah, I know charts look very overwhelming at first, but I want to get you used to it, because that's all, like, that's the only way to do it, is just to start getting used to it and to start noticing what you can identify and just start talking about it. It's like a language. If you don't talk about it and look at it, you lose it. So what I find very interesting about Donald's chart with today's transit is Jupiter, which is now going direct in a loose conjunction with his Uranus in the 11th house in Gemini. Also, the Moon and Mars transiting very close to his Saturn and Venus. Now, also part of reading is just kind of intuitive, looking at the wheel. Does anyone want to play? Like, what are some, does anyone, like, first word that comes to your mind looking at this chart? I know it feels really weird and you're like, what? And it's okay if we don't want to do it today, but I don't want this to always look so overwhelming to you. And it won't if we start kind of like making it not so, I don't know.
So Jupiter, okay, so let's just talk about the point you just made, right? So the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction.
So Jupiter, the transit Jupiter. So that's another thing. The things that are moving in the air, we're going to call them transits.
Transit Jupiter, yep.
So transit Jupiter is really close to Donald's natal Uranus and Gemini.
So when you're talking about two charts, when you're talking about pulling the two charts together, that you're not going to refer that as a conjunction. You're just going to say they're close together.
I would call it a conjunction, but it's more than 5 degrees. And I don't want to teach you guys bad astrology, because most astrology does within 5 degrees.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I get my words, that I understand my words.
I call that a conjunction.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. Okay.
And that's because
that's because he has a personal placement that is within 10 degrees of this moving transit planet.
Transit placement.
Which is the 11 degrees and the 17 degrees?
Yeah, so his Uranus is natally at 17 degrees Gemini, and then we have transit Jupiter that's getting closer and closer to it.
Oh.
So it's that applying pressure, and as it gets closer, soon that Jupiter will be on the 17th degree.
Right.
So where Jupiter is, what is this kind of saying to us then? If Jupiter is about expansion, and like, what do we say about that closeness together? Like, what is that? I guess I don't know what happens when is it Uranus and his Jupiter?
Jupiter.
Yeah, it's transit Jupiter and his Uranus.
Yeah.
So Uranus is our great awakener. It's our disruptor.
Yep.
He's the guy that's really hard to predict, because you just kind of can't predict him.
Uranus, the great disruptor.
Sorry, hold on 1 second.
And then Jupiter is about creating abundance.
Jupiter, that is his that's what he tries to do, but it doesn't always work. Jupiter, the best thing to remember about him is he's big. Anything he touches expands. Everything expands and gets bigger. So for the most part, that is beautiful and it works really well, but you can sometimes get too big.
So Jupiter expands, that would expand his Uranus then.
Yes,
Think of it.
exactly.
Well, expand
Exactly.
his ass.
But yes, so Jupiter expands, makes everything bigger. Uranus is surprises, disruptions. So what would we think if we were having a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction?
Maybe a
Maybe
big
big
disruptor.
surprises.
Big
He's going to be a
surprises.
big ass.
And then also it's in Gemini. So what is Gemini feelings? Gemini is messages. Gemini is communication. Gemini is friends.
So
Gemini is your
probably
neighborhood. It's your community.
So his messaging is probably going to be very expansive today, very like Lulu.
That's another way to look at it as well. Yes, absolutely. He could be giving some big, lofty, he could be pulling out something. There could be a surprise, or he could be hit with a surprise with the people that surround him. And that's what I'm hoping for. Because the 11th, so this, do you see how we go down and down? So first we looked at where transit Jupiter was. We identified a natal placement. So first we just looked at the energy of Jupiter and Uranus. We said expansion. We said the disruptor, surprises, breaking free. Okay, big surprises. Okay, now what sign is it in? Because that's how the energy really expresses itself. Okay, it's in Gemini. So then we talked about Gemini. Okay, what house is it in? That's how we predict. You just break down every little thing. And that's why and I want you guys to not be scared and to point, like anything that you can point out and recognize. I want you to say, there's a moon at 17 degrees. Absolutely. Fantastic. Don't let this overwhelm you. Practice pulling one thing out that you know and that you can read, you know? Because you guys have all the words. You just have to start thinking about it, putting together.
Well, and I automatically, whenever I see a transit chart, I just see mine where the houses are. So I have to take a minute to reorient myself. Like, you know,
that's why I really teach the astrology that I do. And that's why I'm more familiar with you guys as rising signs than your sun. And I'm working on developing like a video or kind of the class, because so the zodiac is a story, and traditionally Aries with the wheel is the first, and then it's Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. It always stays in that same story. The constellations don't move out of order. So as a Leo rising, there's a certain zodiac story that I follow. As a Virgo rising, as a Libra rising, everyone has our own kind of zodiac story. And I really want to teach that, because I think when you get that in your mind, it's very easy to start understanding seeing things that way. This is also called derivative astrology. People used to get mad when it was called that. I don't know why, but that's, I think people were just trying to gatekeep that word, because that's like, you can understand astrology if you can identify the planet, if you can identify where it is, what energy, how it expresses itself. And so like, if we want to go further, okay, so this Jupiter Uranus conjunction that we're talking about is in Gemini. So what planet rules Gemini? Mercury. What's Mercury doing today? Mercury is Casiming the sun. So I'm hoping that some things are illuminated.
Oh,
yes.
makes
so
sense.
That
would be great.
So like a lot of people, like everyone always asks me, how am I going to meet my person or find out what I need to commit to in life? The sign that presides over your 7th house, where's his ruler in that chart? So like me, I'm Aquarius. The traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, but the modern ruler is Uranus. My Uranus is in the 6th house, and my Saturn is in the 4th. As far as you can go back and break stuff down, you just get more information, more clues. And that's how we can get pretty specific.
So the wheel, I'm sorry, the wheel on the inside is, remind me again, that's
This is
Donald?
Donald Trump.
Trump's.
Oh, okay. So he's got all of these stelliums like right in his 11th, 12th, and first house.
Yes, I call
And
them
then his
stelliums,
third
but not every astrologer would. I do though, because again,
Okay.
I don't discount any energy. All energy I count. Not all astrologers do.
Meaning points, nodes,
Yes, like
heavens, planets. Yep.
I'm pretty sure that the definition for stellium is three personal planets, and like they don't want you to have any societal planets, they don't want you to have any asteroids, they want it to be the personals and maybe the luminaries. So the luminaries are the sun and the moon. The personal planets are Venus, Mars, Mercury. Those make up our personality.
Okay.
And so some astrologers are fucking sticklers for stelliums, but like I said, if you have a grouping of energy, I count that because no energy, is discounted.
Yep. Okay.
And maybe not everyone uses their north node or their goddess asteroids, but people I work with do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know. As part of my this is like side note intake of information, I had signed up for Luis's like 11 days of
Yeah.
yeah. I talk about drinking out of a fire hose. I mean, it was so good, but like drinking out of a fire hose. So many great, interesting people. But when you just said her name, it made me think of that because it's so overwhelming.
Oh yeah. It like that. She's getting ready to do another one because she got because it was really cool what she did.
It was cool what she did.
And I'm hoping to help her with it. But yeah, she had it was intense for sure. She had
She did. I was like, just keep listening. Just listen. Just take it in.
there is another one of her other like kind of mentees had one on a smaller level that was like all goddess stuff.
Yeah.
And I am talking with her to see if I can bring that over here because that was really good. It wasn't as promoted, but they did it through the Dark Goddesses, and it was really awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, Donald. God damn it. Oh, no, Holly's not in here. Okay, never mind. So does everyone know? Anyone have any questions about where this is on your chart or anything about astrology, anything about this week, anything?
Can we talk about the energy of the full moon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look at that. Hold on. Give me a second and I will make a chart. And it will take me a second because I'm just
I know it's in Leo.
it sure as fuck is. And I'm fucking excited now. I am ready. But I mean, it's full moons in Leo are fucking dramatic, dynamic. This one's squared by Uranus.
Well, and the timing of it is like impeccable. So, like,
yeah. Let's see, it's the 12th. So no, not 14 days. What are you doing to me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, son of a bitch. Okay, let me see if I can go. Let's get it a little bit more exact. Ugh.
Oh, I just looked up the moon phases. There's a new moon on my birthday this year. Yay.
Ooh, I love it when that happens.
And a full moon on my husband's birthday.
Ooh. How are you constantly jumping like that? Sorry, I'm talking to myself.
I have a new moon on my birthday too.
Hmm.
In my sun sign.
Ooh. That's a wonderful opportunity for new beginnings. Okay.
But that's the end of the year, and I like to have it sooner.
So, full moons. It's when the sun sign is exactly opposite the moon, for the most part. It's that's the equation for a full moon 99.9% of the time. But you have to remember we have 12 months and 13 cycles. So sometimes we have to like, and last year was a year we really had to shimmy the full moons a lot. And that's why I think we have the year that we're having. So does everyone know what house Leo is in for them?
Yeah.
Pull up my.
And like I said, if you guys are coming to church and you are okay with it, and you can tell me to have your chart saved. So like
Leo's in my 7th house.
and we can do questions.
Oh,
Leo's mine.
So also full moons, a lot of people believe that they are the end. They are not. The full moons are the peak. They are the height. So think of it as you're hiking. So it's literally like being at the top of the mountain. This is when the moon, the second luminary that doesn't always show light, decides to show all of the light to us. Nothing can kind of hide. And remember, everything that's like oppositional, it is this pulling type energy. It's like if we were at a dinner table and I wanted to ask you for a pad and you're sitting across from me and I think it's just you and I talking, but everyone fucking knows that I'm talking to you. We can't hide anything in this energy. They are trying to expose everything, bring everything to the surface. So yes, new moon is when we set intentions. So the new moon that coincides with this full moon. So remember when you're doing moon magic to, again, the zodiac signs. So the new moon that was in Leo, so when we're trying to think of when the new moon is usually the same sign as the sun sign. So full moons are normally opposite the sun. New moons are conjunct the sun. They are together. That's why it's a good time to plant seeds, because our ego side, our intuitive side, our soul, both sides of us meet in the dark to create. So that's why we set intentions. So if I'm looking for the new moon in Leo, probably August, and it was August 4th. So that is when I set an intention. Leo is my first house. So I set an intention about how I am in this world, how I physically present myself, how I walk, how I show up. And this full moon won't be the end of that. It's going to illuminate how that journey has gone. So if I had an idea and I wanted to say I planted a carrot, the full moon, I might see that instead of a carrot, it was just the parsley herb. So now with the full moon, I have the ability to kind of see how I made my actions and adjust or pivot accordingly for the rest of the cycle. Because the whole moon cycle is a month, but when we're talking about moon magic, we want to link up the zodiac signs. So where the new moon is, that full moon is usually 6 months away.
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of people think the new moon of that month, you should be able to have everything come to fruition of the full moon of that month. No, no, that's not it.
You're
And
just-
sometimes little things can happen if you're going on like a littler scale, like yes, but when we're talking about really working with the moon, that new moon intention seed is about a 6 months journey.
And so then for the full moon, you're reviewing what you've done over that last 6 months.
Yes.
And
So
where that intention is, or how much maybe more work there is to do or not to do or whatever.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for what has been illuminated, for what has come up. And I usually ask for insight to how to hone it in a little bit more, or, you know, if it's going a different way than I want it, how do I get it back on track? Or I love the way that it's actually going. Let's go further into this.
Okay.
So can I share a like real-time example? This is kind of pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I went back to my journal to see what I was doing or talking about on August 12th of,
Yeah.
and literally my new moon manifestations, word for word. So grateful for the new clients and the contracts in work, the continued abundance that flows this way.
Absolutely.
And here I sit 6 months later.
0.
It doesn't always, I'm not saying that in a way of like, oh, but like that is a cycle. That is a full cycle.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But so now you can see what came though. You were talking
Yep.
about those clients, but now that's not
Yeah.
here anymore. And you are seeing what is actually available for you to grow into.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just specifically, I don't always do that, but I've been following the moon cycle. Well, we talked about that. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm glad I had a journal entry. It's insightful to see like what I was feeling.
Yeah. And I always recommend people to, especially when they're first on this journey, to have a journal, because really you just need to start validating yourself, like knowing that you were in tune, that you were feeling the feelings, that you are a part of this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Leo's in my 12th house. And trust me, I've felt every bit of it the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what's been going, do you mind sharing a little bit of what's been going on the last 6 months?
Sure. It's been, this whole last year has been pretty tough, but the last 6 months I've really dealt a lot with some old loss. I have lost my mom, my sister, a big portion of my family. So I have really processed a lot of that in the last 6 months, and processing a lot of my own relationships currently and in the last 6 months, and dealing with those. And my husband and I have started therapy. There's been a lot that's happened in the last 6 months. And I think that it's interesting to see how it's connecting up now. Because I hadn't connected the dots the way you just connected them for me. So I've been setting intentions on the new moons, but not in relation to what house they're in. So no wonder I'm struggling to see a lot of the fruits of my labor, and things aren't going the direction I want them to go, because I'm not doing it at the right intervals or the way. Sometimes it just happens great. But I mean, this explains a lot for the last 6 months for me. I mean, just utter, like, there are just days that I'm just a bag of goo. All I do is wake up and cry from morning to till I go to bed, and rinse and repeat the next day.
Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, so 12th house is is the house of secrets and shadow, spirit. It's also the
Yes.
house of loss. It's the last house. So it is associated with death or the other world. Do you feel like you have been like opening up spiritually or looking for that?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That has been a big thing because it's always been here, but I haven't tapped into or used those gifts for probably 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And so I'm definitely being pulled strongly, have been being pulled strongly to tap in that way. And then I think the secrets that I learned is that our government is against us. I mean, I grew up very patriotic, very much.
Yeah.
I was a 70s baby. I was raised, raised under the stars and the stripes and we say the anthem every morning at school and all of that. Now I'm realizing they're our enemy.
Yeah.
I felt like that's been a lie that we've been told our whole lives, at least for my realization of life.
Yeah. It's you've been shown a lot of secrets and a lot of people trying to gaslight and manipulate.
Yes.
You have realized that. I could totally see that. But yeah, I also think that you're being edged though and pushed to get back into the woo and get back into it. Cause also like, and I'm not trying to be crass, I'm very sorry for your loss, but when we lose people, and especially if they're close to us, that's our spirit team.
Yeah.
It's very common when we lose quite a bit of people that we just open the hell up and it's pushing us. Those friends that you had in your family, they still want to talk to you. They still want to connect and they want to, show up through you here. So
I had a reading a few weeks ago and they were like, holy cow, you have the biggest group of people here I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah.
Like everybody was there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, that's me. I knew they were there. I just haven't tapped into it. It's definitely helped me tapping back into that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you're going to have when Mars goes direct, first he's going to go through Cancer. But when he goes through Leo, I would not be surprised if things really ramp up.
Okay. That's good to know.
And so that's going to be like April. I can't wait for Mars to go direct.
Me either.
I think I figured out that Leo is in my 4th house right now.
Leo's your 4th house? Okay, well, okay. So yeah, where are you at with home? You've moved. And
yeah.
Yep.
So you've done really, really well. And that in those 6 months, you figured out where you could be safe and where you should be and are making those movements. And, that's wonderful.
It really has been the last 6 months of just, having, meeting some new friends and they're going like, what are you dealing with? Why are you?
I'm glad to hear you say that because Libra and Tauruses, especially Tauruses, we have to be careful. It's finally our time to really pick our herd, because Tauruses are energy. We will give it to anybody. We will work. We are so committed and so fucking loyal. But it's our time to figure out who feeds us back.
Yeah.
It's exactly time for us to realize that we don't get anywhere by not feeding ourselves and by not looking up, So I know it's hard, but I'm really proud of you. And I'm really, any other questions or anything? Let me see if we got anything big coming up this week. Put my glasses on.
And do you, for giving you my chart information, do you want me to put it in the chat or message it to you? Or?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
However you feel comfortable doing it. If you want to message me privately, or just just message me privately. But yeah, no one's here who I have their chart and who okayed, but normally, like if I have your chart and you have a question and you're fine with it, we'll pull it up and we'll look at it.
You have my chart and you can always use it.
Okay, well, I needed you to tell me that.
Okay.
Lindsay. I'm very big on consent.
Oh no, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I get it.
But yeah, you guys will get it more if I can say, here's your chart and, talk to you and let's talk it out. Cause I want you guys to be able to, read the energy and, not swim upstream. And, astrology has helped me so much and I just want it to help everybody else. And I'm tired of the gatekeeping. All my teachers were very gatekeepy and dicky, and I'm just not going to do that.
You said at the very beginning, you were saying when we were taking the two charts synergistically together. You said something about how the process that we use to do that reading, to like read it. Can you tell me what that was again?
Synastry?
No, but yeah, but the process we use, we like looked at the planetary.
So are you talking about with synastry with two people?
Yeah.
So
You look.
we take charts and we lay them on top of each other.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's where we could see so hold on.
No, I know I'm not asking the question right. So
okay.
When you look at a chart, let me ask it differently. When you look at a chart, you're looking to say what planet and what does that mean? Where is it? Right? And then what house is the third thing? House is the last thing that you lay on that?
It depends. It depends.
Okay.
So the big things is planet, the zodiac sign, and the house.
Yep.
So like if you're an actor, you want to think of the planets are the characters. This is like how this energy is moving. The sign is how that energy expresses itself, and the house is where is that energy going? Where are we getting the shot of information?
Yep.
Oh.
And so when we do synastry or we're reading transits, we look to, where they are in each other's houses, but also if there's any hard angles or very on top of each other aspects.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. I just want to make sure I wrote that down right. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. I love it when
well, because I want to go back and practice, but I want to make sure I'm doing the
yeah.
And is there a certain chart when we are practicing that you prefer over?
What do you mean? A type of chart or an app?
An app or yeah.
So here when I'm talking to you guys, I use Astro Gold. I really love it. And I am always doing whole sign housing when I'm teaching and showing it to you.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't do the other charts, because I do. I just think they're harder and you'll understand them easier if you just understand how the wheel works. And the wheel is best shown in whole house astrology.
Okay. And is Astro Gold a app or just the online?
It's an app. It's an app. Oh.
Well, thank you for I don't know if I want to be respectful of your time, Kyla. I don't have any other questions.
Anyone else have any? It's about time for us to wrap up, but I love talking astrology. So
nothing that can't wait until next week for me.
Yep.
Okay. So next week I'm not going to have church because it's going to be Cody's birthday party. I'm going to put in the chat if you guys, I kind of want to do a full moon ritual. So I'm going to ask a poll and see who all would be down for that. Because it's my full moon. I want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, next Sunday, no church. I'll have a ritual and a video for you, but nothing like this. But we'll start back to normal on the 23rd. And I'm excited because that's when Mars goes direct and we are going to celebrate. We are going to fucking celebrate. Hey, maybe we can have some physical moves for that.
Oh, perfect. What day is that one?
February 23rd. And if you can't be there because you have your kids or something, maybe we could talk about a video or something like that. You and I can chat. Also,
Yep.
if it doesn't work, no big deal.
No, that's okay.
You,
Perfect.
you can tell me to fuck off anytime.
No,
I'm serious.
nope.
I don't want anyone to do anything they don't want to do, but if there's something they want to do, I really want to be encouraging and the best
I would love to do
supporter
that. I would
and
love to do
cheerleader.
that.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, I love you guys. I'm going to be putting
Thank
up a
you.
poll. I think I want to do a full moon ritual. So I'll see you soon.
Keep being
Right.
brave, Emily.
Yes.
Oh, thank you,
Absolutely.
Emily.
Thank you
Oh,
guys
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Have a
Bye.
wonderful week.
You too.
And